Alright, welcome back to the Drunk Wax era. This video is going to be a little bit different. You guys are going to have to look at my fat fingers. Well, maybe just once. There you go. Uh, like and subscribe, or, the risk is if you don't like and subscribe, you might have to give up your firstborn child to Rumpelstiltskin. And I heard that if you like and subscribe to my channel, you've got a 50% better chance of winning the HGA lottery. Uh, but anyway, to the main point. So PSA has finally uh, put out there that they acquired Genamint, which is a company that specializes in artificial intelligence and basically using technology to grade cards. It's been the big thing that everybody's wanted. It's something that obviously HGA uses, and CSG. If you didn't know, CSG also uses AI. One of the things with PSA, and one of the big issues is, people say PSA stands for please submit again. You can crack a 9, sub it, and it's a 10, which should be impossible because a card should never get better in condition. It should always, you would think, would get worse. The handling and whatnot, you only have risk to it. There's no way that it just gets better unless you've got like the hand of Midas, but it's like the hand of trading cards, and you're some special person. In which case, I need you over at my place, and I'd like you to touch a couple of my cards. Main thing though, so looking at it, they're gonna have all the same stuff that HGA's talked about that a lot of people were skeptical on, which I think shows. And again, ignorance in this sense is not a bad thing, but just, a lot of people had opinions on it and really don't know what kind of technology is out there. There's been plenty of stuff available for years that would allow for card grading, just no one invested in it because they didn't need to. You had plenty of cards getting out of PSA. The times were fine. No one was complaining. And really, the card companies that were around didn't need to do that. It just wasn't cost effective. You're gonna buy an $80,000 camera that measures something, or you're gonna pay somebody, you know, that's gonna do the same thing and for quite a bit cheaper because you still got to pay that guy to run the machine in the first place. But consistency and grading came up, and obviously a lot of people, really wanted to see that consistency. And finally, PSA has invested in it. Obviously, this goes back to Nat Turner buying it, making it a private company. You tend to see that a lot when a private company will invest more. But anyway, so look forward to more consistent grading from PSA, which is great. They should all be consistent. Know what you're getting. I don't expect the grading scale to change. A gem mint, like Nolan here or Cal, is gonna, you know, a gem mint still means that it could be a slightly flawed card. They're not going to bring a pristine like a BGS, so don't expect that change. But this near mint Ken Griffey Jr. Should potentially always be a near mint 8. The other thing that was big news, basically of their artificial intelligence, and if you hadn't read about HGA, is that these cameras, not just the cameras, but the technology will recognize a card that's been submitted before. It can recognize alterations, things like that. So if you remember Slabgate, which is one of the big things that a lot of us that have been collecting for more than just since coronavirus hit, Slabgate was when PSA, not knowingly, I don't want to put that out there, that's speculation, but anyway, there were cards that people identified had been submitted to PSA, had gotten like a 5. Someone had cracked them, trimmed them, sent them back in, and they got a 7. And they were identifying marks that, a human's not going to pick up on, and they're not serial numbered cards. So, obviously, problem number one. This technology is going to make it so you can't do that. Also, if you submit a card and it gets a 9, and you submit it again, it's going to get a 9 because they know that they already gave it a 9. Um, I'll tell you what, I'm not a huge PSA fanboy. I've said before, I like them on vintage cards. I will buy newer cards in them for the right price. Obviously, when you're investing in people. You want to invest in what people were buying, and most people trust PSA for whatever reason, or they like the slabs, the way that they stack together, and that's cool. To each their own. When you're investing, you got to buy what people are going to want, and so I do have some PSA in my collection. Um, just remember, with all of the grading going this way, I don't expect easy grades. So if you find something that's already been graded, I would suggest buying that. That's going to be your best deals, or stuff that's already graded, because it's going to cost you a pretty penny to get things in for the foreseeable future. If you're good at identifying raw cards online, or at card shows that will grade well, go for that. I'm going to tell you a secret. There's probably not that many gradable cards at card shows. Maybe now, but there definitely didn't used to be, because I'll tell you this much. The guys that have the booth set up know just as much about grading as you would, and they're not going to put out stuff they can send into grade. It's the same thing usually with eBay. So, be aware of that as you go through. But I would expect to find better condition raw cards than you've ever seen, just due to the backlog and no one can get in. So, congratulations, PSA, for boosting everybody's confidence a little bit. Maybe you can work on that ugly looking label, but it is what it is. I'm starting to turn into a HGA fanboy, I guess you could say. Even though their grades were super harsh, and I probably would have had, in my first 61 cards, I probably would have had 81 cards. I probably would have had, 50 PSA 10s. Maybe not 50, but I probably would have had a good amount of PSA 10s. I had 0 10s from HGA. I feel like the grades are right on par, really, with what they were. Maybe this Tatis refractor should have been a 10, I think, in case, anyone from HGA watches this and they're like, hey, it should have been a 10. Let me know. I will send it back, and you can just change that. Maybe even a flawless would look pretty. But, so congratulations, PSA, stepping up to the plate with the big boys, not just banking on your name. You're actually going to put the quality behind it in the process. And remember, like and subscribe. If you want a better chance at getting a submission into HGA, like and subscribe. It'll bring you luck, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video, and get those submissions in this week.